Welcome back, my friends. Got an interesting one here. Looks like the Singapore PM is responding to Trump's recent tariffs. Let's see what he has to say and see what the implications are for really everyone in the world. Let's jump in.
My fellow Singaporeans, I've said before that the world is changing in ways that will disadvantage small open economies like Singapore. Some had previously questioned this assessment, but the recent Liberation Day announcement by the US leaves no room for doubt. It marks a seismic change in the global order. The era of rules-based globalization and free trade is over. We are entering a new phase, one that is more arbitrary, protectionist, and dangerous. For decades, the US was the bedrock for the free market economies of the world. It championed free trade and led efforts to build a multilateral trading system, anchored by clear rules and norms where countries could achieve win-win benefits through trade. This WTO system brought unprecedented stability and prosperity to the world and to the US itself. To be clear, the system is not perfect. Singapore and many others have long called for reform to update the rules and to make the system better. But what the US is doing now is not reform. It is abandoning the entire system it had created. Its new approach of reciprocal tariffs, country by country, is a complete rejection of the WTO framework. The US has placed Singapore in the lowest base tier with a tariff of 10%. So the direct impact on us may be limited.
The other day I forget who I was looking at online, but it was, might have been Paul Davis at Fired Up TX Lawyer 2, because he lost his original Instagram account. And it was Project Uprising. I think it was Project Uprising explaining what tariffs are, They say, you let me know what you think in the comment section down below. They say that it's only going to hurt the consumer. It's only going to hurt us, people at the top. It's not going to really affect. I mean, you're going to pay more for goods and services under the disguise of, hey, we're helping make America great again. Same thing going back to COVID times. Hey, we're helping making you healthy again by giving billions of dollars to objectively the most corrupt companies on the planet based on fines levied from the Department of Justice. We're making you healthier by enriching these corrupt companies. Long history of fraudulent, misleading statements about their products and services. Who created the opioid epidemic? Who created the Vioxx epidemic, right? It's wild to me to see these politicians say, hey, we're going to do this in your best interest. And when you look at it, you're like, now, how is this in my best interest? How is it in the best interest of Americans to pay more for goods and services if, in fact, that's what's going to happen? Let's continue.
For now, but there are wider and more profound consequences. If other countries adopt the same approach as the US, abandoning the WTO and trading only on their own preferred terms, country by country, it will spell trouble for all nations, especially small ones like Singapore. We risk being squeezed out, marginalized, and left behind. We can also expect a strong global response.
What he's saying makes sense as you look out into the landscape. We see companies and corporations consolidating and getting into bigger and bigger companies, which hoses over the little guy and little gal. I mean, look what happened during COVID. Oh, you have a small business, you can't go to work today. You got to shut your business down. Maybe you're a small restaurant or a hair salon or whatever else. You shut your business down, but Amazon and Microsoft and Walmart, they're good to go. Now, some Americans bought the bullshit. I bought it for a while until I started realizing, hey, what's really going on here? Like, are you helping Americans, or are you helping to wipe out small businesses? Are you helping to wipe out, is Donald Trump helping to wipe out small countries unless they consolidate in to larger companies? I mean, the thing of it is, I hope you get it by now that you do not want one company you buy your stuff from. A lot of people are backlash towards Amazon. I'm in the same boat, although it's challenging to find that variety of products to purchase. But I'll tell you, people are looking, and I am looking too. You don't want to enrich one company and let all these other ones die on the vine. But this guy appears to be speaking truth here.
To America's tariffs. Singapore has decided not to impose retaliatory tariffs, but other countries may not exercise the same restraint. The likelihood of a full-blown global trade war is growing. The impact of the higher tariffs, plus the uncertainty of what other countries may do next, will weigh heavily on the global economy. International trade and investments will suffer, and global growth will slow. Singapore will take a bigger hit than others because of our heavy reliance on trade. The last time the world experienced something like this was in the 1930s. Trade wars escalated into armed conflict and eventually the Second World War. No one can say how the current situation will unfold in the coming months or years. But we must be clear-eyed about the dangers that are building up.
That's fascinating, right? If you study a little bit about what happened prior to leading up to World War II, the United States appears to be pressuring Japan and with financial restrictions from my understanding. If you know more about it, let me know in the comment section down below. But from my understanding, they were basically giving Japan no other option than to go and do what they did, right? That's some straight up bullshit.
Up in the world. Global institutions are getting weaker. International norms are eroding. More and more countries will act based on narrow self-interest and use force or pressure to get their way. This is the harsh reality of our world today. We will stay vigilant. We will build up our capabilities. We will strengthen our network of partnerships with like-minded countries. We are more ready than many other countries with our reserves, our cohesion, and our resolve. But we must brace ourselves for more shocks to come. The global calm and stability.
I like this guy. I don't know much about the Singapore government, and as you know, I'm skeptical of all governments, but mostly the United States of America. But this guy seems to be somewhat legit. I like what he's saying.
We once knew will not return anytime soon. We cannot expect that the rules which protected small states will still hold. I'm sharing this with you so that we can all be mentally prepared, so that we will not be caught off guard. Let us not be lulled into complacency. The risks are real and the stakes are high. The road ahead will be harder.
Yeah.
But if we stay resolute and united, Singapore will continue to hold its own in this troubled world.
Wow, there you go, my friends. Let's see what people are saying in the comments section. But before we jump in there, I just want to say, if you haven't already watched Thrive 1, or just search up Pyramid of Power or Pyramid Foster Graham Thrive, and you'll get the pyramid of how, people think we the people run the government. That's not been my experience. I used to believe that lie as well, but I now believe it comes top down because I listen to people like Ken O'Keefe and talking about the The head of the snake in America, in the world, is the financial system. Like, money runs this shit, and who has the most money is going to get what they want done. But politicians are there to make people believe that they're in charge, to sell the bullshit, right? It's fake public engagement. It's fake "we work for you" bullshit, and many people are waking up to it. But go check out that pyramid, and you'll see, money and banks at the top, people in positions of power, then governments and police factions, and then the people at the bottom thinking, yeah, it's our country, we the people. I'll be doing a video on Jones Plantation, the somewhat new movie coming out. That's I think it came out a couple years ago. Let's see what some of these comments have to say here. A clear and profound explanation delivered in such a smooth manner. It was smooth. Well done. I wish more world leaders would speak with that calm and clarity to their citizens like the PM of Singapore. Yep, amen to that. How lucky for Singapore to have a PM like you. You speak so eloquently and cohesively, coherently and cohesively, with no rhetorics, no smearing of anyone, just a clear factual assessment. He does seem like a stand-up guy. At least the Singapore PM talked to his people and explained the situation it faces. It's more than we got in my country. Not sure where that guy lives, but same. Singapore's a wonderful example of what a small country can achieve. Australia here, well spoken for all to understand. That's a good one too. As a Brit, it is unbelievably refreshing to hear a PM talk to the population like adults and not just a fake tough guy. Amen to that. America is like one big WWE show. It's so silly. Biden versus Trump, Trump versus Kamala. It's stupid. I'm over it. Wow, imagine what it's like having an educated prime minister. I've been trying to explain this to so many people, and I just couldn't explain properly. I'll just leave this video. You did an amazing job. That's actually true. That's how a great politician and leader should speak. No insults, no paranoia. Yeah, dude, that dude seems legit. One of the best posts you will see on YouTube. Said with composure and reason, the world thanks you. Absolutely. What a Class A gentleman. Let's see, Lawrence Wong, you are the first voice that I have heard that completely explains the risks and stakes for the world. We know what the United States wants. It wants war. We're a warmongering country. Great Britain was a warmongering country. I hate to say it because I live in the States, but we're the problem in the world, at least the current problem. We haven't historically always been the problem, but we're the current problem. And we got to share information and talk about it because the future of humanity depends on it. If you are so inclined, share this video with your friends and family. Let them see it. Let them watch it. Let them know that Donald Trump is not a friend to Americans or humanity from my experience. I have a whole list of shit that's wacky AF. Let's see. Greetings from Switzerland. Thank you, PM Wong. Yeah, awesome. Okay, there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. I'll link this video down there. Before I let you go, be sure, if you haven't checked out One Life, which is a system for winning the life that you want. It's a game that you play with yourself, right? Showing up every day, overcoming the fear, the doubt, the limiting beliefs, taking consistent daily action, using systems. It is a system for winning. It's not a course. It's not necessarily a guide, although there are guide aspects in there. It is a system for winning that you can start immediately on day one. You don't have to watch 5 hours of videos. You just start playing the game. There it is right there. You can learn more at thisismyonelife.com. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. I'll talk to you in the next one.